Hello class, my name is Brittany McManus and I'm going to be discussing the social exchange theory today along with the components that make up that theory. To begin with, I'm going to go over the history of the social exchange theory and who contributed to that theory. There were 4 different theorists who did. It was George Hammonds, who is a sociologist, John Thabue, which is a psychologist, Peter Blue, which is a sociologist and a theorist, and then Harold Kelly, who is also a psychologist. The first one to identify the social behavior as an exchange was George Hammonds in 1958. When he was studying the behaviors and the exchanges and relationships and interpersonal relationships, he did it beginning with groups and then worked toward individuals. Whereas Thabue and Kelly started with individuals and they worked to groups when studying them. And to go kind of off of that, Blue didn't believe in either one of their theories, so he decided to say that social exchange shouldn't be blinded by psychology. And then, of course, we also had Erwin Altman and Thomas Taylor, who also incorporated social exchange into a theory called social penetration theory. What is social exchange theory? Basically, it's the ideal that social behavior is the result of exchange. We have to weigh out our positives or benefits with the negatives and costs of the relationships or groups that we are in. This is the decision-making process when choosing relationships and groups that we use. Or at least that's what when studying relationships, this is what the theorists saw. Analyzing the benefits and costs of being a part of the group or relationships helps us be more in healthy relationships, or it sometimes keeps us in toxic relationships. If costs are outweighing benefits, it's a loss. And if the benefits are outweighing the costs, it's a profit. The more that you're profiting from a relationship, the more likely it is that you'll stay in that relationship. This basically shows that whenever the costs are outweighing the rewards, we're going to leave the relationship, whereas when the benefits are outweighing the costs, we're going to stay in the relationship. Essentially, what this theory is suggesting is that if we take the benefits of a relationship that we're in, or a group that we're in, or a partnership that we're in, and we subtract the cost that that's costing us, it determines on if that relationship is actually worthy of our time. Some different costs are mental efforts, anxiety, frustration, embarrassment, time, effort, money, basically anything that is taking from us. The different benefits are fun, friendship, companionship, social support, belonging, achievement, and satisfaction. This is anything that's adding to us. Additional concepts that are associated with the social exchange theory are the minimum principle of human behavior, which is when people aim to maximize the benefits from a relationship and minimize the cost of the relationship. When we're in a group or a partnership or a relationship, we want to get the most out of that. We don't want to have to be draining ourselves during that, and that is what the minimal principle of human behavior is explaining. We have comparison level, CL, which is the amount of profit that an individual is receiving from that relationship. This is basically an inbuilt thermometer for relationships. It tells us when we've had enough or when we need to move on. It compares to different situations that we've been into the past. Is this costing me? Is this benefiting me? Etc. And then the comparison level of alternatives is a person's judgment of whether alternative relationships would result in fewer costs or in greater rewards. This is when we're going to be comparing to another relationship or another partnership that we have in our life and asking ourselves if it's worth staying in this relationship that is costing us more than it's benefiting us. If there is a way that we have another relationship that can take the place of that one, we're more likely to give it up. Whereas if we don't have an alternative, we're more likely to stay in that toxic situation. To put things into perspective for you guys, I have some example situations that tie in my personal experiences with the social exchange theory. A negative situation would be my relationship with my biological mother and her family. When living in Ohio around them, it was always very toxic. There was a lot of drama involved with them, and it brought up a lot of different past traumas that I had overcome. When I realized that it was causing me anxiety, it was causing me to waste a lot of my time, it was causing me to not be able to heal, basically it was costing me more than it was benefiting me, I decided that I needed to move away from them no matter how much I loved them. A positive situation is my relationship with my dad, my bonus mom, and my sister. When I moved to Alaska, or when I decided to move to Alaska, it's when I realized that the benefits of being around them outweighed the cost. And that's what pushed me to move up here. Each one of us worked together as a team to get things accomplished, to achieve things. It has helped me have fun, it has helped me feel like I belong again, and it has helped me heal from the different toxic situations that I've overcome. These situations are perfect examples of the social exchange theory. Here are the different references that I used throughout my PowerPoint. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.